kasa de boa sa movement na ye radio Alan John Kojo chairman movement no ana fe honorable Daniel Kwasi Ashama so ye NDC ni mapa ya ono so kan ibuem member of parliament ono so eba be kan ho ana Prince Achireko senior manager data analytics and business insights TD Bank Canada na or a member of the New Patriotic Party or Ghana ahase odo akwaba
Joso
bibi aboko de
na me adom boko
yankopon ase na de ofie
o de mfiri de boko
wo mo no niema no te say because nya say na say pese de totomo de hu sa na ya na say na se hu niema.
Well, niema ekoye but still abroche no cost of living so cut down. The only difference in say ho na adwuma wo ho krofo nya adwuma ye den that's the only difference, but cost of living that's very high.
Cost of living as compared to
sell rent and
as compared to when
as compared to even before COVID, right? As compared to before COVID, the cost of living has really gone up because Toronto area, say cost of living has really gone up. Rent has gone up more than 100%. Well, Canada issues, a little bit maybe different from here because it started with a house and supply and demand, right? Nipano hobe bro mo pedine, but not amount of houses or more building was not in line with the pace of population development because of immigration. The cost of house and the cost when at times of COVID buy, na obia, I think people wanted to own their own house at that time, and the interest rate is so low to 0.25. Then people are able to borrow more to buy houses, jump or house price and that level. Still,
in demand
yeah.
for house
If a house are not first of all be 600, all of a sudden be 1.5 million. And I still sa na yedi demand a bit drew her, and they are trying to bring it down, but still I'm a rent so costly. Rent is here in Toronto area. They a costly papa.
Yeah, you understand some of this dynamics. Yeah, even in Canada, you'll be able to state it the way you are stating it. But do you think Sana Canada for Efano say do they all understand it the way you understand it? Say because of COVID, nanko 4% munyomo mobia nya ono ankasa ne fie, and the fact that access to credit and as a sika a de be kwakoto efie interest rate wo form ntino nkofo yire almost omuko pesika nti ama houses no and also to say nipa no omuhia houses nti bia amana cost this is sana obia no and I said they are also on the neck of government.
Yeah, and the government through their people are on their neck. They have to fix a housing. And they are on the and as a it could be very difficult for them. But they are on their neck. Say they have to fix housing because housing a crisis. Was a fix it. But I think the whole thing is a result of issues from COVID. And he said, "No, Prime Minister no crack." I say he messed up with immigration after COVID because of COVID, the way an ACTN forced people.
What was he suggesting? What did he?
I don't know. I pray his video. I will link the on one post 2 years. He messed up with immigration because of COVID. After COVID,
is it because say allow a lot of people as in California? Yes, Canada.
Okay, here was the story behind the whole thing. Or no COVID in the free honor. Then it became like a jumaba, but you nipa money de enye jumano. So then they needed temporary workers on jumano. So he started saying, so you're a student, because student first not to me 20 hours. Then he started saying, so you're a student create me a full-time work. Then he started bringing more student, more student and more temporary workers. And then he started bringing in visitors. And so then he go to a time or not realize student a year first you now go school or Canada, I can guarantee you so we school no ko abetimanya path to permanent resident. Then Osha saw these students in a baby, then it became like now no a little bit difficult because even most of the students in a Muniska Kromuku school. So people I feel nipa baby a jumana now we hear nipa mom we say nipa na then air broso and things like that. So those are the things on no for say he mess up and now he has to face it. But I mean, my problem with him is fixing it to what extent because born when you about whistle now my boys and I be go parking so more day. Born we changing rules against them. Me that's my problem with Prime Minister because born the you know what nipa si park is where we a student we're free in the room as an international student wa private student wa visa wa ba wa school na say I think that we changing brand say bia o course na wo ye no we school and non qualify for bia postgraduate work permit after school and now we school and non qualify or say unya permanent resident here then etim ha but nipa no free ni kuro mu ba no na samre no we school e ma no sa postgraduate work permit no and a permanent resident path no so those are the things now I think he's saying say oh no what mess up but he's trying to address it so as a leader, and there, sometimes when you mess up, you have to own up to it, and that's what he is trying to do. But I don't think say next year October.
Is this still legitimate? Is this still worth mentioning? Say COVID, some economies, some issues being.
There no doubt about that. And there from United States, which is the biggest economy in the world, all the way to China, back to Africa, COVID, the impact that COVID has made on the economy is significant. And everybody can see across
so
board.
Now what you have and you didn't measure the performance of economies, say economies across the globe. Whether they are doing, because some are doing better in spite of the COVID buying. Today na yemfa enye susudu ana ebitim dia ka se economy we say covid ha no na nso so no bia obon homodin dia na yemfa nye susudu.
Well, say right now everybody is trying to recover, right? So here recently country they say United Kingdom ABA na borders ema health workers mostly na omo ko bebre. The reason why they were aligned their borders is that they needed people to work because after COVID, there was a labor shortage, and then I feel they have to recalibrate. Say, catch up with what was going on in the world. Over maybe this America, COVID we reduce interest rate to the lowest. Now, cost of living, inflation, high. In Tema, interest rate, the cost of recently, no matter as you say, they bad down because almost inflation is going down a little bit. So over all around the world, and it's also cost of living there because it's linked with supply problem, right? Because before no say na me meti them say Alabama and I say fan say California baby we are born and na me produce e be a student and be me working in a farm. But COVID and buy and be a to a California waba back to baby me parents here there and I say me a course online. And the farmer now or here student and temporary worker to help him produce say corn or whatever he's producing. No. I'm not there. And you want him produce sa corn. No. Corn also ni market a cost of living bearing. Ebe kosoro. So those are the issue now ede ahonchire na yeden. Aba no all over the world. And it was mostly supply chain. Even China when you produce niyama bebre yadeba we are seeing no. Unfortunately no COVID buy no they were not able to produce any person more than produce. It is our Ghana Hana can say a be a China be produce a be a baby formula milk edema on crano. Anoma you are not getting it because baby are producing no they are not there and they are not producing because factory has been shut down for maybe almost be a year. The intimate produce no once our tehana or train I just have baby formula, you won't get it. So that means a kakrana market and a cost on the so these are
you the all the picture I was painting in no me sure the impression I did mommy and I say after COVID no governments imagine say ombema nipa no ho ahenhan wo mo where there were no employment no omo try say be pe nkrofa mo abeye adwo, which means that unemployment was not an issue. COVID unemployment am a issue. And even kwa befa so obenya capital crime, governments were deliberately making sure so ombema capital bo ayefo in certain economies so that ombetime yomo every COVID. In our case here in Ghana, it is not like that. Because of that, nkrofo economy in some businesses to the extent that nkrofo investments is new redemption a problem. You understand? Unemployment is on the rise. Interest rates slow. Say eba from kakra de. Nanso na fe nso no you can say inflation so sa na tie ohun dem che no but what share your friend is saying cost of living and so kwa na eden cost no ni adade baby a yeyi nkrofo baby a ye ma na ye mre ma nkrofo kratimi anya ska atimi aye aduma no ye de kra de taxes krampo no covid no kra no akof wo tax foforo aba. So why then get na yen no
the question now we say where were we and sana COVID na yeden eba it say uti ufie ana wasi udan na udan no one protected dan no structure no na nsu ato na be fa no ko the same situation na to ye because for our case you know we didn't have enough already. Say in African country, we are a developing country. Develop the economy structure. No, any those countries now they compare. No, it doesn't work because structure now you want your foundation now you want a little bit weaker as compared to those countries. It is and from maninya bar definitely a befoul. Now from manoso bar, what is important is enya bar for what action are you going to take to recover from where you were. So those of you now, there has to be some form of sacrifice. Sometimes when a country gets into trouble, so some people have to sacrifice in order for the country to recover. But in our case, we've made sure say whatever the effect of COVID and now we try to put in some capital going back to IMF, getting some money to maybe show our CD against the dollar and making sure say putting in liquidity ama economy na and move forward. But as you said, the whole thing now we are faced with as a country and say how can we still continue to increase production na yenye sika atoho na asem sia yakofa se sika no aba. The only challenge that Ghana has faced maybe since 1990 I remember I say deep politics, has always been said we don't have enough money.
Shouldn't we have enough money? Why don't we have enough money?
Well, that question there is something that all of us as a country have to talk about. Say, why don't we have enough money? Have we implemented enough policies a bit develop
surpluses?
Yeah, so we have to, and that's why last time I came here I told you about our natural resources. That is where I think we have to focus more because natural resources are God. Why leaving them and go and start and always looking for money or to borrow money? Why don't you tap the one you have first? We did tap the one first, and how many in a year? Now say we scanner, then you can borrow. But here is the case. We leave that.
ISI for performing
that's what Dr. Baumia is always saying, sir. We have to have efficiency in the system and making sure the resources now you want to maximize. So I think for Dr. Baumia, because right now I don't want to go and talk about past. I want to talk about the future. And the future is what Dr. Baumia has defined in his 57 agenda points now. You call UPS now or the year the two jana. And that's why we are shifting more into technology. We are saying say we are here, but we're trying to. And also another thing I wanna even talk about now is you know that when we were in SS, in basic economics, we say, Ghana Hano, we don't know who is a Ghanaian. And a nim ubi nso ya koba nkra se kwaje bosi a ye nim obi a be den ye betim aka so no ne the bosi a ye dey ema no. And that is the reason why Ghana card is now a game changer. I do baby another controversy a ye den aba. So right now ye wo Ghana card e nim se kwaku any kwaku asumasi ene benten no. Now we can use that to generate a lot of capital in the system. Because why? Kwaku asase se sia kwaku, we can identify that with kwaku. Say kwaku asase niye, and because of that kwaku ko banga, wetiba yusu eno edienya some form of capital. So I think with Ghana card now no, in place now, we are getting to know every Ghanaian where they live, whatever. We'll be able to generate a lot of capital with the credit system now. Doctor has introduced, you know. And that will help us because of our credit system now. But the Mimit Force is going to generate a lot of employment in this country because our credit system, ultimately identify say Mr. ABC ni ultimately babeto adi ultimately to adi. Well, that means a producer now produce can also produce more, and we give it to the person. Before now, me Juma or Nokia, we were producing phones to companies, a big company like company like Vodafone, all those companies. But what do? They take the phone, they give it to the customer credit, and every 2 weeks they come back. Then you produce more. So maybe for say credit system, any a Ghana card, sometimes I feel like that's a Nipan Tiasi. Me book because why capitalism survives in everywhere and fails in developing countries. And the book also because we haven't put in the necessary ingredients capital economy and one of them is making sure that you have an ID system in place, and one of them is making sure that you have a credit system in place, and one of them is making sure that all laws and regulations are capital a protected capital economy. And I think we are getting there, and with that, I believe that the future is going to be brighter than what has gone on in the past.
Senior manager in data analytics and business insights. Okay, senior manager data analytics business and business insights. TD Bank Group. Canada or MPP ni mapa. Is that as a vice chairman? Canada branch MPP. Honorable Daniel Akosia Shama, opening akwaba. Sounds na Dr. George Hamilton, and so opening akwaba.
Yeah.
All right. O kasaka kremno akorhe aden.
My before kwenye nchia Yura Alan John Kojochira Mantin, incoming president of the Republic. Before nyampese mini Achireko Prince Etias and said Ghana for NT I wanna talk about.
And they say wanna talk about.
And you know more petty. Or more petty say economy no. Yeah, but ye. And the only person who is going to do that, Alan John Kojochira Mantin. But before that,
Ghana for the only person who is going to do that.
Ghana for ready, papa.
No, the only person who is going to do that, I want a difference, Benny.
I say. I wanna know. Say, I say, Donald Trump, bro. Get kind of us in the I wanna see you. Near Nimu, say, you bottom in a comedy, and your mom costs you a good juma. But answer may bet to us. Mammy, one video be about bunting.
Videos they will be about
bunting, and the audio be so about bunting. Okay. Back a branch beer. Men person me bonny didn't try to give him that media attention, but no, it is against the media rights, the regulations, and the constitution frowns on it. Make us say, Authority Ekasetia. Why should you mislead the public because of political office? Say,
before say, if Nidim po unpersolvable, which means that you don't want to glorify him.
I'm not glorifying.
You might also not wanna You might also not wanna.
I will say wanna.
Project the Okan,
No,
into Ebiana, those who are listening to us or watching us here. Empty. If you talk about it, you're projecting it.
I'm not projecting I'm going to speak against it.
If you talk about what he's saying, now Utira na obi ehunu say obi fan say make sense, no disagree with the other can against now. You have projected him.
And my main can pesa mekano.
Okay.
My main can pesa mekano. Abranti a morning show host on Woon to Me TV. I know you know what I'm going to say.
That's what I'm saying. Don't project it.
Not me bow.
Because
it is against is a constitution, mono. A idea etia. Say you don't put out false information.
And
false
action
information
has been taken.
and action.
Police action.
Police action. And I made that IGPHA. So I said because me Saturday. Me can want someone one of your sister
police
stations
say
someone it's here on mine emra kunim say Ghana for mutemi titru yen yan mo muti sabi en krase ofuase ayerebi akokwaso ene takwan sayem be poso area mu homo mesramo abano dakrope ene yeto no enye so omachi no omachi na keke se ombia no omba beja no omuma ni face emra no it is punishable by what this is a felony. I was say you didn't to serve as a deterrent to all the other media personnel. No, put up information.
Because I was say didn't tuma. What bueno come for that?
Some I'm kind of pay.
Obet man a good defense. No defending her. I didn't never be bro. I'm running kind of pay. Yeah, never be bro. Even
I say Ghana.
There have been.
And then the air boy,
but what I'm saying is
that
so police have started the process. But if you two American can say, "What say you didn't tuma?" Why you on judge?
I'm not the judge, but I am sharing my opinion on it. Emrano Chrese, only pay or yes, no. It is he's supposed to be jailed.
So when Timian defend there.
Now in some more kind,
so when Timian defend there.
Some more kind, maybe Matisse can say electoral commission issue statement against what he said. Meaning your kind and no correct. And so where is his defense?
I agree with you said your kind and no correct. I agree with you said it's Yamra. But what I disagree and say Obe Kase because of the oyen or say didn't tum. Or court, no to me defending who we are. No be kumo be court defending her.
Say Ghana yem penocre.
That be Mran the
Emran Edina, Emran.
I don't know why we are arguing about this. You know, say, until say you prove it beyond all reasonable doubt.
Then you
and it's an kind of court ni ho. Oh yeah, I know to constitution and card in the Panacotun. So let's the justice system and when no, that is not it. What I am saying is it is unfair. So because we are prejudicial.
This is not prejudicial.
It is.
But who they make Ghana for the same Misramo. Abano young Concotono. 7 December, and sign to be the next day, and sign to be the next day. Because now it's going to take a span of 13 days. And say to me to Abano. From 1992, you started say year to Abano, back to democracy. Honorable Ashamawa, he can tell us that by and look at 1992 the year to presidential, you never to you can say parliamentary, and no free honor. There be elections.
And we are to parliamentary and to presidential and answer to presidential first. Presidential first, not to parliamentary.
A free Sabreno. You are two presidential and parliamentary the same day.
So he lied.
The same day. He lied. So and until America say he's misleading
the law must take its course. The law must take its course.
So I expect the IGP and his men to do the right thing.
No, they have arrested him.
And the court must also do the needful.
It is even possible that from which on bit my question and also camera
The first time or the false information about
maybe this is the first time, so maybe you could be cautioned.
Thank God you are saying maybe the you fan casam. Some nankasa they should do with the case. Minia Richard Minia Daniel Shama and Prince. You see a casam is Odin can cocoa or something yet. They're not just with the people. But the fundamental issue here is the economy is in shambles. Economy, no. The name will bubu. The man penny can say, Scano, I hata. I want Dimbia yede any. Na menu na jitum say, and ne. Na enye nko a from time memorial energy adie bia eno make say a driving force of the economy, so what you see wedwuma can you any so aye na wotumi adwuma ma ne yeye. I say some time ago when doing so was at its peak, na me western region Takwa to be precise. Enjuma eguye cold stores are eguye. Emra na NDC for what power na dum so ewo ho. MPP at the campaign ekasa ye and enjuma egu and a light out and a dum so. That was the first time we had the word dum so. And then Oko encyclopedia obenye dum so ewom. Amount definition of dum so. Ye catch abaye so and ECG for say. Moma yen timetable because you say a doom sombre.
I know your topic I bet with you. Oh, the chassis.
Okay. So if when you say if it is because maybe I can say they say. And
one buy and said they now buy and now can't. Now can't a Hannibal as you do there.
Or do I hear about it?
Oh, but now can't do there. I don't know on the topic continue and yet they need discuss it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm Kobisa and say Canada economy, how the people, the government in Canada is handling almost issues. Your friend say no, I'm fan compare Ghana there. I know they compare Ghana there. That was my own question. And I'm they trying to say for.
Okay. And to say, my main can you know can it be?
Oh.
As I was
honorable Shama home means
Manunsi.
All right.
So me all case I say COVID and I'm a I buy when you to me yen say bibi ba na ye beka ho asem ne o kan say COVID inti na Ghana for anyem bia yen kwa na COVID eche yen kwa na COVID ebesra yen COVID ye wo krom ha na ye can say airport ye certain facilities e wo airport say answer wo beba krom ha no e wo say your COVID test ye juice ka sas ka na fa hen wo kwa wo say your COVID test sas ka no so e den e fa hen yentumi ama sa skano entumi anka omanmu ansesi entumi ama nimpa enya esonfa so oman na enya esonfa so yeti ana omuka chen se omo be me ye ken se free light and free water etu wi ase na ye twan ho skano yetua no coffee ebia nye de anka misre wo hwe wasa wo hwe sene wotie na why den wabo honwum na wodi asa but Ghana yen abaya eti no emma too high hopes on the man Ghana for no na esosododo and they cannot admit the fact say they have erred nti omunjintum say ne omu treaty with Ghana for COVID money by in fact Ghana nyesika but ask ourselves say we should ask them what really did they do with the money. A question for Botum.
Honorable Shama Kwababu. Look very confident and relaxed.
Oh yeah.
You've always been. How can
the issue is
a shepherd of sheep and you're confident? There's a common
Fato.
Me confident me champion for Prince in the dog. Me confidence in bra me ekwa me patron ewo my sorry. Celebrated our 20th anniversary.
Sorry, bear.
And Catholic Church.
Oh, okay.
Honorable, you're an Anglican?
No, Catholic.
Catholic. Oh, okay. And that's when you're couples Christian.
Yeah. The 90 ewem kakra asre asundweni bibia amagana. Ena o meko no so ma bombo nti ndra ma boma baso. Nti eno ne ni dia me di ni na. Ewo oman a ohia do kro no.
Say honor be Papa Sumo.
We di enije ni confidence enna oman a ohia do kro no.
Okay.
On say yen anu mu kwa brochiri eba be kasa eyede. You get it right. But me de mikaka de bia say so be you ohia is a process. Enye da kro na wo soro ye ohia ni o. Ena say obenya ohunya ni na odifo a enu so is a process. Obi aye odifo ama wakọ ne fie. Nti fro obeka e wo hia krom say o wenum aye say you must delve down. And so kofom na bisa say e bam se na omudi ye odifo. And e bam se na ye ohia man. That is it. And this is the reason why here we speak about this government. The government has been so incompetent, only talking. Because in this will be crowd here, every Canada di bagana. On fasiding ko. Na abayin nim se ni kromino. So mudi jwako China. Mudi jwako UK, Germany ni nano. Ye fasiding ko. Inti sa unim sa ese wo utrunsu se yesisa yesidi edi akọ amanfufrofo sikam. That exchange rate no na juma eya bandia esse oye na juma no eya bandia Canada for to me di omo Canada sika di dwa wo momem amana yeye ana wo hwe nsusu eda omo ni dollar mu no na soa inti Canada for betumi aye. But ya by no impanyimfo mo part to ho amoji aketua no o mantumi anye de bia no muti ho ye press conference. Minia onka mo ho ba won se adruso no ono no ba be kirekire mu wono mu ji aketua te ho o mu ji sika no o madwuma no so manye.
Okasa onka mo ho o MPP ni mapa.
I don't think he's working as a government official. Are you? And until America, he's not. Ono no kire na adwin. Ba o kire na adwin a o bre obi no mu kro. E kire se wono mu ye adwuma o mamu. Enim se ade no enkoyie. Enkoyie kura. Inti menka ana mayenka ti se bia ye blemu se e bia ye Ghana fonti obiti ho a oji aketua onye na adwuma. Addis into me printing in the 2 years no o printing 77 billion wako ma parliamentary report e dia mana nado muba mu free Canada na mo bisa na nado say 77 billion wo di e. These are the issues. And when you have excess liquidity in the system, it what sparks inflation. And it is within that year, and the Ghana city no have balloon akosoro. Inflation go 54%. Muye MPP for mudomo go and sit down with them. Maybe some say, "Ebamusena inflation to me moving fast to 54%, and you are struggling to bring it down." Don't tell me it is COVID. Don't tell me it is COVID. Because I am educated, I will never accept that. You get right? Say a person yanka COVID asemo memu krano. How many months are you shut down this country in the name of COVID? And even how many regions na ya shut down? I was MP. We were allowed to drive that time. So we move. And it is in the big cities. Who free her, who cross it, akosomukra yan shut down. They were working.
But anytime you talk about it was in the big cities, I think that it is also fair to be reminded of the fact that taxes are about 90 something percent are from the big cities, mostly Accra and Kumasi.
And I am giving you two.
Also, simple question. I want to.
No. Don't ask me a question. And it is 2 weeks.
Okay, so Okase.
So if we are blaming COVID for 2 weeks, even if it is the whole country, then what are we talking about, or what are we telling Ghanaians? Look, I was in Parliament when Ken Ofori-Atta came and took 2.25 billion Templeton bonds. Or see, here the physical space. What did he use that?
That was before COVID. Right?
Before COVID, 2017, 2.25 billion Templeton bonds. Ono friend Adam Fofo and Otomamo. Ono ankasa asa chishe profita yebe tuyomu Ken Ofori-Atta. Or MPP for Bisan said, what did you use that money for? Is there any project for that money? Because we were fighting in Parliament over that money. So the recklessness of your leaders must be established. It is the recklessness. Then in the 2018, Sakofa said, Wakofa $2 billion. No COVID. Now, Uji weni nanu, u kachiragana force, udi koye juma. Na ejuma be na udi koye. Ejuma be manfaso na udi chichama salary. Then in 2019, oko for 3 billion. So before COVID, you have taken $7.25 billion as loan. Now, say 2020, COVID buy no. Says cannot say we save to her say COVID kwa. Now the we took loan for Atuabo gas. And that money has worked there.
So this way now you don't believe say COVID ever high in any way.
It is not about the belief, it is about economics. Okay, those who believe or not believe, no.
So you ono as far as you're concerned.
I am above that.
As far as as much as you know, COVID ameye bonibia.
COVID beye bonin omuma $3 billion. I was in Parliament. Omuma $3 billion. Why can't that $3 billion solve a problem that a nation shut down for only 2 weeks? Why? Apart from that, a man for cheye, COVID nyama, endro, nose masks, Ghana for asachaban, into $7.25 billion me can want some dollars before COVID, you know, yedi. Because during COVID time, no, we have special drawing rights from World Bank. I was in Parliament. We have allowed the government to take our money that we reserve.
Ufo se yare no ba no edi ohabi kra bre ya emwa enya no nke o se bro how
yare no abu aba ma wa boye kro no oboye nyansan kro no.
All right.
And they are still talking.
Okay.
So so COVID,
and that, a very quick one. So
COVID as can the impact of COVID. No? It's not just about say we shut it down and now say one shut it down. It's about trading partners all over the world. And no more the goods brow or more also the call. Here is the case here, or more economy yatum. Who is also export to be a untimin fanco. Sanson almost says somebody be brow or muntimin fan. China wasn't even producing now the aba amoy. Oh, Hannah who say, yeah, we set it up, yeah, helpful factories in there, Okroma to produce our own PPEs, any other. So, untimin say COVID didn't do anything to this economy. That is not accurate year or depicts it. COVID really impacted this economy, and it has impacted so many economy around the world. If you want to talk about accountability, that's a different thing.
Also, opposition, yes, sir. COVID, no, we're not an island.
Yeah.
We also had apron strings tied to some other people.
Yes.
Problems. Apart from the problems in Yan problems are other countries. It won't
impact and came to us.
Impact no bet me abaye so. Fair one, quick one. Yanko, you can't say. And he was also saying that in spite of Sa Niamani Nano, Yenyam Wantinanka will say to me,
Anabo was in Parliament, right? If a finance minister comes and takes $2 billion, right, and you don't see what do you have the right to ask that same question in Parliament and let the minister come there and explain to you
Well,
what do you use the money for.
we say it's kind of home but then what he was also saying is that maybe perhaps yeah, problems, but we got some opportunities. We should have leveraged
on
the
them.
opportunities. No, and only that he believes that, and then now can say if or can accountability, fine. He believes that, and I was saying, timid or you know, we dropped the ball. We and I was saying opportunities na you know, it made the boom come problems. We are ho at the.
I also you free say. Even in spite of all these wine, loans now, watching all the numbers now, or boy, the car was at that time, COVID, you know, you are not getting taxes and you are still paying the interest. Where do you expect the money to come from?
But you see, I say it, yes,
all the suggestions are fair. I mean, all
there
the
should have been